Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video, this time around with a recap of the dev stream. So if you didn't catch the dev stream a few days ago, I'm gonna make a recap here so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But if you want to, you can go down to the description. There is a VOD there from Twitch. I don't think they're gonna put it on YouTube, so you are going to watch it on Twitch if you want to watch the whole thing. But I'm gonna do a recap here. First, I'm gonna talk a little bit how the stream was and kind of give a little bit of feedback, I guess, in a sense, but mostly I am going to, of course, talk about what is coming for Trove next, because that's the main thing that they were going to talk about, or they were going to show us. Well, they didn't show us anything, but tell us. I guess that's the more accurate, basically. But you can see here in the background how the stream was, and again, if you want to check it all out, you can go to the description. But overall, it was a very great stream. It was amazing to see these people. It was great to say Blizzer again, and also, of course, Gingervap. These two are old developers. These are the guys that are sitting on the, if you see the little webcam up there, these are the guys that are sitting on the sides, and the middle guy is actually Not Yet, and Not Yet is a producer on Trove. I haven't seen this person before, but you know, now I do. It's pretty awesome to see people, and I was really excited to see who was going to show up on stream. There was also a woman who ran the stream, like there's kind of the one that did the votes and the giveaways and all those stuff, but she never introduced herself, so not really sure who she is, but maybe she'll see this video and she will say, hey, it was me, and that would be great, super awesome, because I'd love to know who everybody is, you know, put a face to the name or name to the face in that sense, right? So they started out talking about the event and there was going on, and they also talked about it also being on Switch now, that it came this week as well for them, and they basically talking about giving away different things, and also they started, you know, talking about what they were going to do and what everything was, you know, going to do. And also they had a few community questions in there. I don't think it was anything super huge. That they talked a little bit about the crossplay, basically, like that people always talk about the can there be a crossplay for Trove, and again they said that it's a really hard technical thing. They also actually talked about Shadow Towers, and Shadow Towers was also really hard to do anything with, because it was apparently it's very coded very badly or poorly or whatever you're gonna say. So every time it reset, they had a lot of lag that increased the server stress and all that stuff. So they kind of talked about that as well. That's why there's no Shadow Towers and why they had to move away from it. So they didn't say they were never going to bring back Shadow Towers, but they really wanted people to come with feedback for what they could do with it. So I think if people really wanted it, and if they have some good ideas, if you have some really nice, amazing ideas for the Shadow Towers, what they can use for it, make sure you, of course, you go to their Discord and you, of course, provide those ideas. So they will, of course, bring Shadow Towers back in some way, because they really also want to know why people are so fascinated with the Shadow Towers and such. And I would also like to know. But anyways, then they gave away some more stuff, and then they also talked about voting. So on there, they said, hey, we want you to vote on 3 different seals, and I can show you right here that there is those 3 seals. So if you during the stream, you could vote on, and a few minutes after, I think like 20 minutes after, you could vote on which one, and it was number 2 who won. So number 2 is going to be the seal that we are going to get in the future, which is super awesome. I'm pretty sure they keep saying seal and such, but I'm pretty sure that's also, of course, with the wings and all that stuff. So I think it's the whole package that we are going to get in the future when people hit like more mastery, and also going to hit more power rank, which we of course are going to talk about in a little minute here. But again, there were some more giveaways, there was some more bomb around. They was having a lot of fun, and they took those community questions. And if you want to see like the specific answers, I do suggest you see the whole thing. But that was basically what was going on with the community questions and the giveaways and such. So also they interacted a lot with the community, and they did a bunch of in-game giveaways and all that stuff as well. And of course, in the end, of course, they gave away the Yappa key for like 1 person. So that person, congratulations, that person that won that as well. But that is basically what the whole stream was, besides, of course, what is coming next. So that's what we're gonna come into. That's what we're gonna talk about now, and that's, of course, the whole block situation. So what is the block situation? Well, they talked about that they wanted to help melee classes in the game, because apparently those are not really going too well. But it's kind of hard to talk about, if that makes any sense, because what is a melee class? Because if you take the Draco, that doesn't have really much of a range. So is that also a melee class? Because it is actually, you know, magic damage, but what defines a melee class? But they did say that this block feature is gonna come to every single class. So my guess is that they are going to talk about this in a way where it's like ability, like you have dodge, right? You're dodging things with you hitting your keyboard or your pad or whatever you're using to dodge, right? And then you dodge, right? That's kind of the symbol. You hit the button and then you dodge. I think the same thing goes with block. I think it's a like ability you have to use and then you can block an attack or something like that. That's at least my guess, because I don't think it's coming, unfortunately, as a new stat. I would love to see it being a new stat. But yeah, unfortunately, that is not, I think, what is going to be. So again, I'm really hoping it's going to be a stat on gems or on gear or something like that that can help melee classes. But again, I don't know what defines a melee class, because right now ranged characters are the most popular. That's what people mostly go for, because that's the most safe, but that they do the most damage, but just like the most safe ones. And then they want to help out melee classes, but they did say it's going to come to every single class. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be something where it's going to be just like I said, an ability you use, and then you can use like a block attack, and then you block some stuff. And I think it's good. That's going to be a little bit clunky, to be honest, but we'll have to see what that happens when it comes out. I do also want to say that now we also know why we're not getting any more reworks. You might notice, you might not notice, but we had rework for a few other classes, and with some was really great and someone was kind of mediocre. But for example, the Lunar Lancer just got super fun to play, and we kind of just had a lot of fun with that. But we now know why we're not getting more reworks, because I've been asking for more reworks, because I really like the reworks, because it was not inventing like a new class or anything like that, but they were just kind of messing with the class and they kind of made it better. So that went really well for an update. But we now know why, and that's because of Gingervap not being on the game anymore, because he moved on to a different company, which is still Gamigo, but it's like the pirate game. If you know, they have had Inquisition. I don't know what the exact name of the studio is, but it is. They have a pirate game. They also have a wizard game. I played them before on the channel, but not very much. But those two, that's what Blizzard and Gingervap is working on right now. So it's based. They're still Gamigo, but they're just on a different studio, just working on a different game as well. And as it happens, you know, people get moved around and such. So anyways, that's why we don't get, unfortunately, the reworks anymore. Maybe, hopefully in the future, they can come back a little bit, help out, do a rework here and there. That would be super, super awesome. Still, since they're still the same company, right? So that would be super awesome as well. So lastly, though, let's talk about the biggest thing that was revealed. It, of course, is that we are getting mythic tier gems for Trove. So now, right now, we have, of course, Crystal, but now we are going to get mythic, and I'm super excited about this because it will help a bunch of people getting the light requirements or the damage necessary, including myself, to do more damage in tier 15 or difficulty 15 dungeons. I was about to say, of course, biomes, also the dungeons, so we can get through and get our little better farming our mystic gear and move forward. So we don't know how it's going to work yet. They said it was going to be similar to how we got, upgraded our stellar ones to crystal. I'm not sure it's going to be exactly the same, but I'm like 99.999% sure that we are going to still use gem dust in a way. There might be some new materials you have to get, because else people are just going to max it out like instantly, because people are sitting on a lot of it. But it is going to be pretty expensive probably to upgrade it in some way or not. I think it's going to be involving again with the shop in a different way. We'll have to see, but we'll see what happens. Right now, you should just do whatever you're doing and just keep farming and just kind of hold on to it. So don't go too crazy if you not necessarily have to go crazy. So save up a little bit now and just see in the future what's going to happen. And then you can always use it again as well. So yeah. Mythic gem tier is coming to Trove in the next update, I'm pretty sure. They didn't say when all these things are going to come in, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the next update. And I'm guessing it's going to happen after the SUNFEST is ended, also on Switch. And I know there's another event coming right after. We'll talk about that. But that is at least my guess for now, that it's going to be, for that as well. So anyways, let's talk about the next event, because they didn't say what event is going to be, but we know when it's going to be. We're not know what it's going to be, but we know when it's going to be. That is how it's going to be, because they said that since Switch just got it, they have a whole month of 4 weeks. And when that ends, they are going to get the other event. So we know when the next event is going to happen, and that's going to be on the 12th of August. So 12th of August is the next event coming. I'm not sure which one it is. They didn't say anything about that, but we just now have a date on when the next thing is coming, or the next event is coming, because like I said, Switch is going to have it now they have it almost for a week now, but they're going to have it for 4 weeks as we have had, and then it's going to end, and then that's going to start right the day after on Switch. And of course it's also going to happen for PC and the other consoles as well. So basically that is the recap of the event, or not event, but the dev stream. So very cool, very amazing event, or also a dev stream. Very nice that we had this. I hope we're gonna get more in the future. They almost had like 1,000 people watching or something like that. That was pretty awesome, pretty amazing. Also with the people that were streaming it and kind of watching at the same time. So that was just super, super awesome. So thank you for everyone that showed up. Again, I will of course have much more information about all this, and when I know some more, you guys will know as well as soon as I know as well. So this was the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!